what better way to make y'all feel single on Valentine's Day than talk about cute romances? Hello readers, it's Sasha, and today is Valentine's Day. I thought it would be fun this Valentine's Day to talk a little bit about the romance novels that I'd like to read at some point soon, because what better way to make y'all feel single on Valentine's Day than talk about cute romances? The setting has changed once again. We are in my bedroom. I just kind of want to have some variety for when I'm filming, so yeah, you're probably going to get some videos here, you're probably going to get some in the living room, but it should be fine. So for this video, I have 10 romances that I want to talk about. There are some young adult, there are some, I think, adult. I don't know. I don't remember if I put any new adult. But yeah, let's just start. I'm not going to categorize them and go like, this is the young adult section, this is the adult section. I'm just gonna go with whatever I feel like talking about first. The first book I want to talk about is The Nature of Jade by Deb Coletti, and this is a book that's been on my radar since way before I started booktube. Like honestly, probably 6 or 7 years since it's been on my radar, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. So yes, this is about a girl who suffers from panic disorder. She was diagnosed. She struggles with leaving her house a lot of the time. And then one day she turns on the cameras at the zoo to like watch the elephants or giraffes. Elephants, it's elephants. She watches the elephants because they kind of just like make her feel better. But then she sees this guy and he's carrying a baby and she's like, oh my god, he's cute. And then she decides, okay, you know what, I'm gonna go to the zoo. And then they meet and she realizes that he's a single father. I think they end up dating and moving in together. And yeah, I think it just sounds really cute. I'm not super duper into romances. So for the fact that this has been on my list for so long shows that I really want to read it, because way back when I added this, I was not into romances. I was not into contemporaries hardly at all. So you know it has potential when. The next book I want to talk about is Here the Whole Time by Vitor Martins, I believe it is. Translated by Larissa Helen. So I believe this book was originally written in Portuguese. I found it from Robbie's channel And His Nose Stuck in a Book. So I'll link him down below because he did a review on this and it sounded spectacular. It sounded like such an incredible romance read and I can't wait to read it. So this book essentially is just about this plus-sized main character who is a male, which we do not get to see in young adult nearly enough. It's always females and it's always, well, not always, but most of the time negative. So having some positive plus-size representation for male characters is so incredible. Like I can't wait. And essentially he has to spend the entire week, like spring break, with his crush who is the boy next door because his mom like offered their house for him to stay at or something like that. And he's just like,
why would you do that? Like I like him, like this is
So yeah, like that just sounds so cute. Robbie really loved it and he's an Own Voices reviewer for this and he loved it and he felt very seen with it. So I'll link his review down below as well. But holy crap, like it was so good. Like I fell in love with the synopsis, so I want to read it so bad. The next book is another young adult and that is Some Other Now by Sarah Everett, and this is marketed as This Is Us, which is like a drama but for teenagers, and I love This Is Us. Like I feel like an 87-year-old woman. I think the drama of This Is Us, I think the way that they shoot This Is Us, I think Milo Ventimiglia from This Is Us, like everything about This Is Us is top tier. So obviously when I saw that this was marketed as This Is Us but for teenagers, I was like, okay, I'm listening. So this follows a girl who was best friends with these two guys and I believe they were brothers, and then she kissed one of them and things started going like really crazy. And it says in the synopsis that one of them is gone and the other one hates her. So I don't know if gone means like that he's passed away or if he's like moved. It's probably passed away because This Is Us is very like drama. So that's probably what it is. But yeah, so this follows the three of them. Well, possibly two of them, I don't know. But if it's marketed as This Is Us for teenagers, I think I'm gonna love it. Next is Get It Right by Sky Kalane, and this is a new adult? No, this is an adult romance. This is a sapphic adult romance. Need I say more? Hello? This is essentially about a girl who got out of prison and she gets these like really bad migraines, and so she ends up going to this health clinic, and at the health clinic she sees the nurse from the prison who she started developing feelings for, and it's kind of just this like roller coaster of emotions, and they're both kind of trying to develop something out of this small bond that they shared at the prison. And I personally think that sounds amazing because prison, I know that's like not a great place to be, obviously, but I really like stories that have been set in a prison, or have been set in and around a prison setting, or have characters that have been to prison. I think it adds another level of depth, and hopefully it's done well, because I know a lot of the times like people will try to write prison stories and they've never been to prison, and sometimes it's just like, well, that's very clearly not what it's like. I mean, like, I've never been either, so I'm not just like, that's not right. But just understand, I've read enough and watched enough documentaries about people who have been to prison to kind of get a little bit of an idea as to what can be expected. And so some books do and some books don't meet that. So I'm hoping this one does. But the fact that it's a sapphic romance, the fact that it's about, oh, and the nurse was a pansexual nurse, so there's another level of awesome into this, so I'm super excited about it. Next, I want to talk about Eirs, apparently, by Diana Ma. This is essentially about a girl named Gemma who moves to LA to pursue a career in acting, and she ends up getting this lead role in a movie and has to go to Beijing to shoot it. And when she gets there, she realizes that she looks a lot like their heiress, and so it just kind of pulls her into this adventure and to a lot of different like secrets that are coming in, and apparently there's a romance in that, and that's like what it's classified as. It's classified as a contemporary romance, and I personally think it sounds really good. Like I said before, I really like princess stories. I like stories like this, so I'm really interested to see where this one goes. And I know it's a newer release, not a lot of people have heard of it, but it honestly sounds really good, so I cannot wait to read it. Next is Beach Read by Emily Henry, and obviously like everybody knows what this is about, but I still really want to read it. It's essentially about this girl and this guy. This girl, I believe, writes romance, and this guy writes literary fiction or something like that. And they end up meeting at a beach house, and they're both suffering from writer's block, and so they're just like, okay, let's switch genres. And so the girl ends up writing something in literary fiction, and the guy ends up writing a romance. And obviously, because it's a romance novel, things start to heat up. And I don't know, like when it came out, it didn't appeal to me a lot at first. Like it was just kind of like another cutesy romance type situation. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews, you know. I've heard a lot of people say it was so good, it was so cute, but I've heard a lot of people say like it really, like the hype doesn't match the story. So I kind of want to formulate my own opinion on it, and I don't know, the idea has kind of, it's appealing to me more and more now. So I think I'm gonna really like this. I honestly genuinely think I will, so hopefully I do. Next is Verity by Colleen Hoover. This is a thriller romance, which, hi, please bring that into my life. And essentially it's about this girl who is a struggling writer, and she gets offered this position to finish a novel for this famous author who for some reason can't finish her own novel. So her husband kind of like contacts this struggling author. And when she's in her like office setting, she starts to find these really, really dark secrets that the wife has been hiding from the husband and from everybody else that could tear her reputation apart, tear her marriage apart, all of this stuff. And I'm pretty sure the main character, the struggling author, is starting to fall for the husband. And so she's kind of struggling with, okay, should I reveal these secrets? What should I do? And I've heard this is very dark. Like there are some very dark things in here, but I am so excited to read this. Like I think it sounds so good. Colleen Hoover, I've heard so many mixed reviews about. I've heard she's a great romance author. I've heard she sucks at romance authoring. Whatever, but I want to formulate again my own opinion, and I think the best way for me to start would be to start with the thriller romance, because I'm way more interested in thrillers than I am romance. So I think combining the two will make it a little bit more interesting and make the experience a lot different and a lot more memorable. Next is Love from A to Z by S.K. Ali, and this follows a Muslim girl who ends up getting suspended from her school for confronting a teacher, and her family, they send her to visit her aunt in Dakar and kind of like get her shit together, for lack of a better word. While there, she's realizing like, okay, my actions, like they can affect other people, like this isn't good. I need to change kind of like who I am in that regard. And then she meets this guy named Adam, and Adam has been diagnosed with MS, and he has been keeping the diagnosis a secret from his father, who is grieving the death of Adam's mother and obviously his wife. So they're both keeping secrets and trying to be different versions of themselves than they actually are, and they meet each other and they're the only two people that can really like relate to each other, and it sounds really good. I know somebody with MS, so I'm excited to have some representation in young adult literature. I think that's fantastic. But overall, I want to support more authors of color, and this book sounds incredible. Like, I think this book would probably be a 5-star, if not a 4.5, because it just sounds incredible, it looks incredible, and I really do think that this would be a good story. Next is Tell Me How You Really Feel by Amina May Safi, and this is about two girls, Sana, who's like this really obnoxious go-getter, and the other girl is Rachel, who is a film junkie, and she's making a senior film, and she's trying to find the perfect lead, and she realizes that perfect lead would probably be Sana because she's popular, she's a go-getter, people like her, like, it's perfect, except it's not perfect because Sana was actually the first girl who ever asked Rachel out, and Rachel said no because she thought Sana was pulling a prank on her. So things have been tense between the two of them, and life is stressful, and I think it sounds great. It's a sapphic young adult romance novel, and need I say more? No, I don't think so. And I finally have the last one that I want to talk about today, and this is a book that I recently bought, and I did talk a little bit about it, so I'm not going to go too far into depth about it, and that is This Is What It Feels Like by Rebecca Barrow. This is about a girl and another girl who are entering into a festival, into the same like competition, but they end up falling for each other. So sounds cute, it sounds very summer-esque, it sounds very contemporary-esque, and sounds sapphic, obviously, which is why I want to read it. But I think it sounds really cute. I found it for cheap, I bought it, and I'm excited to actually get to read it at some point soon. So that is all. Those are the 10 romance books that I want to read in 2021, or probably not, but in some point soon. And I hope you guys have a great Valentine's Day. Thank you for tuning into this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. I do post twice a week, and I'm sure there are going to be some videos coming up that you definitely don't want to miss. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge for next video. Anyways, until next time, bye readers!